Half of America cannot cover a $1,000 emergency. Not half of the poor, half of everyone. And the disturbing part? Most of them have no idea why. I'm not talking about people who are unemployed. I'm talking about teachers, nurses, warehouse supervisors, office workers, people with steady paychecks, living one car breakdown away from financial collapse. And today, we're going to look at exactly how that happens. Because it's not laziness, it's not stupidity, there are 4 specific mechanisms quietly draining savings accounts across this country. And 2 of them involve things you're doing right now without realizing it. Let's start with the one nobody talks about. It's called the availability cascade, and it's a psychological trap, not a financial one. Here's how it works. Human beings are wired to estimate the likelihood of something based on how easily they can imagine it happening. Not on actual probability, on imagination. So when you think, what are the chances my car breaks down this month? Your brain doesn't run statistics. It asks, can I picture that happening? And if you've never had a major breakdown, your brain says no and moves on. A study from Princeton found that people consistently underestimate the frequency of financial emergencies by over 40%, meaning the average person thinks emergencies happen roughly twice as often as they actually plan for. The result? They never feel urgency to build a buffer. The emergency fund stays at 0 because the emergency never feels real. Until it is. That's mechanism 1. Underestimating how often things go wrong. Mechanism 2 is printed on your credit card statement every single month, and most people scroll right past it. It's the minimum payment line. Here's what that number actually means. If you carry a $5,000 balance on a credit card at 24% APR, which is close to the national average right now, and you pay only the minimum each month, you will be paying that card off for 22 years. And by the time it's paid off, you'll have paid $9,800 in interest on a $5,000 purchase, nearly double what you borrowed. The credit card company is not hiding this from you. It's right there on the statement, but the minimum payment is designed to feel manageable. $47 a month feels affordable. $9,800 over 22 years does not. So they show you the $47. Every dollar going to minimum payments is a dollar that never reaches your savings account. And with the average American carrying $6,300 in credit card debt, that's a significant drain every single month, automatically before you've made a single spending decision for the day. Or mechanism 3 is one the banks are legally required to disclose, but they bury it so effectively that almost nobody notices. Fees. The average American pays $329 per year in banking fees, maintenance fees, minimum balance penalties, out-of-network ATM charges, overdraft fees that trigger at the worst possible moment and then compound. $329 a year sounds small, but that's $3,290 over 10 years, quietly leaving your account, in small enough increments that it never triggers alarm. If that $329 per year had been invested in an index fund at an average 8% return, over 30 years it would be worth over $40,000. That's the actual cost of banking fees, not $329, $40,000. Now here's where it gets interesting, because understanding these 3 traps is actually the easy part. Millions of people know about interest rates. Millions of people know fees exist, and they still can't save. Why? Mechanism 4 is the real answer, and it comes down to something that happens in your brain before you've opened your wallet. It's called present bias, and it's not a character flaw. It's hardwired neuroscience. The human brain is biologically wired to value immediate rewards over future rewards, even when the math clearly favors waiting. In studies, people consistently choose $50 today over $100 in a month. The future version of yourself feels like a stranger. and you don't sacrifice for strangers. This is why discipline doesn't work as a saving strategy. You're fighting millions of years of evolution every time you try to manually set money aside. The willpower model of personal finance fails almost everyone, not because they're weak, but because the system was designed for a brain that didn't need to think about retirement accounts. Here's what actually works. Automation. Specifically, automatic transfers that move money to savings the moment your paycheck lands, before you see it, before your brain can weigh the present versus the future. A 2023 study from the University of Chicago tracked two groups of people with identical incomes. Group 1 saved manually. They decided each month what to transfer. Group 2 had an automatic transfer set up on payday. Group 2 saved 3.4 times more money over the study period. Same income, same expenses. The only difference was whether the decision had to be made consciously. You don't beat present bias with motivation, you beat it by removing the decision entirely. The fix is simple. Log into your bank account today. Set up an automatic transfer, even $25, to a separate savings account on the same day your paycheck arrives, not after bills, not after spending. First, treat it like a bill you pay yourself. Start with whatever number doesn't hurt. The amount matters less than the habit. You can increase it later. What you're building right now is the system, and the system is what the other group had. The four mechanisms keeping Americans broke aren't complicated. They're just invisible until someone points them out. Underestimating emergencies, minimum payment math, banking fees nobody tracks, and a brain that will always choose today over tomorrow unless you automate around it. Now you see all four. The next step is the debt side of this equation. Because if you're carrying a balance right now, there's a specific payoff order that saves the most money, and most people get it backwards. That's the next video. If this was useful, hit like. It takes 2 seconds and it genuinely helps this channel reach more people. I'll see you in the next one.